Hey there, thanks for tuning in today. I'm Dr. Morgan Nolte. I wanted to let you know that the video you're watching is a clip of a longer episode that's very in-depth about the best foods to eat to lower blood sugar. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I'll link the full video below in the description. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share it with a friend if you find it helpful. Thanks for watching and enjoy this clip. Key number 5 is to choose your fats wisely. When it comes to lowering blood sugar, the good news is that great food actually can help you do this. Foods rich in healthy fat and protein are very satiating, meaning they help keep you full from one meal to the next. They are also nutrient dense, meaning unlike carbohydrates that usually just get stored as energy if you don't need the energy right away, fat and protein are put to use to make hormones, bones, muscles, and more. I've covered the different types of fats in depth in this video, but as a quick review, you're going to want to bias your fat intake towards whole, unprocessed fats from animals and plants and avoid the processed fats. Let's break that down a bit. Great sources of fat from dairy would include whole milk, cream or half and half, string cheese, full-fat Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and butter or ghee. I've done a lot of research on saturated fats, and in my opinion, they're neutral at worst, beneficial at best. If you're worried about eating a lot of saturated fat because you're afraid of high cholesterol, I'm going to push back on that because saturated fat is one of the few nutrients shown to raise HDL cholesterol, which is protective against heart disease. I'll link to a couple great interviews I've done with Dr. Nadir Ali and Nina Teicholz, who will hopefully put your mind at ease on this topic in the description below the video. Dr. Fung also does a great job putting the myth that saturated fat is linked to heart disease to bed. He sums it up by saying in his book, The Obesity Code, saturated fats raise HDL, the good cholesterol, and change LDL from small dense or bad to large LDL, which is mostly benign. Overall, saturated fats do not harm the blood lipid profiles like previously believed. Other healthy high-fat foods that would keep insulin and sugars low are omega-3 fatty acids, specifically from fatty fish, because these are high in EPA and DHA that are anti-inflammatory. Plant sources of omega-3s like walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds are higher in ALA. There is a pretty low conversion rate, about 8 to 15% from ALA to EPA and DHA. So if you're wanting the anti-inflammatory benefits of omega-3s, you'll need to get the EPA and DHA from fatty fish like tuna, trout, salmon, herring, mackerel, cod, and the like. If you don't want to eat fish, you can get it from an algae oil, but be sure to run all supplements by your doctor just like any other medication. Omega-6 fatty acids are found in nuts and seeds and are also healthy, but omega-6 fatty acids found in the refined oils from those nuts and seeds are unhealthy. This is an important distinction. Whole food omega-6 is okay. Processed omega-6 is inflammatory. While they may not directly raise blood sugar or insulin, oils like canola, safflower, corn, soybean, and sunflower oil are not healthy to eat. The food products like ranch salad dressing, popcorn popped in this oil, chicken fingers and fries fried in vegetable oil are also not healthy. You're much better sticking to olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, butter, ghee, or lard for cooking. We primarily use olive and coconut oil and butter in our house and they work just fine. The last kind of healthy fat I focus on are omega-9 fatty acids or monounsaturated fats from whole foods like avocados, olives, nuts, and seeds. These are great for you and help keep blood sugar and insulin low. Along with the processed omega-6 fatty acid oils, the other unhealthy fat to avoid would be artificial trans fats and foods that contain them. Now, there is some naturally occurring trans fats in animals, and those are okay. What I want you to look out for are the words partially hydrogenated. Partially hydrogenated oils contain trans fats. In 2015, the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, said that partially hydrogenated oil can no longer be generally recognized as safe, or GRAS. They said removing it from food could prevent thousands of heart attacks each year. And in 2018, the FDA went a step further and banned trans fats from new food products. Though the FDA's ban of trans fats went into effect in June of 2018, manufactured products before this date can still be distributed until it was about January 2020, or in some cases 2021. Because of this ban on trans fats, food companies have had to re-engineer their products. I've noticed more fully hydrogenated oils on the ingredients list. This is still highly processed and unhealthy. Some food products may still have trans fats, such as margarine, vegetable shortening, microwave popcorn, fried fast foods, bakery products like muffins, cakes, pastries, and donuts, because they're often made with vegetable shortening or margarine, which are high in trans fats. Non-dairy coffee creamers, some canned frostings, crackers, chips, pies, and pizza, depending on their ingredients, may also have artificial trans fats. Again, you're going to have to read your food labels here. Partially hydrogenated oils are the primary source of trans fats. Food companies can still label their product trans fat free, even if they contain up to a half gram of trans fat per serving. With partially hydrogenated oils on the decline with the trans fat ban, palm oil and palm kernel oil are on the rise in food products. The palm oil and palm kernel oil are high in saturated fatty acids, about 50% and 80% respectively. The rest are unsaturated fats. I thought this graphic was helpful to see the ratio of saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated fats found in oils. Polyunsaturated includes omega-3 and omega-6, and again, monounsaturated would be the omega-9. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see here the oils with a lot of blue have a high amount of those processed omega-6 oils that are inflammatory. The sunflower, safflower, grapeseed, wheat germ, walnut, soybean, corn, sesame, peanut, and canola oil. The healthier oils would be those higher in saturated fat and monounsaturated fat, including coconut, palm kernel, beef and chicken fat, almond, olive, and hazelnut. Avocado oil would be one high in monounsaturated fat too. It's just not in this picture. Even though there's this heart on the corn oil and it says cholesterol free, don't buy into their marketing. I have no idea why this heart is on there, except that it probably boosts sales to people who don't know better. And now you do. One more thing to consider is the smoke points of different oils. Here's a helpful chart from Masterclass that reviews common oil smoke points. Smoking is a sign that your oil is breaking down. When oils break down, they can release chemicals that give food an undesirable burnt or bitter flavor, as well as free radicals that can harm the body by contributing to inflammation. Before using any oil, make sure its smoke point can handle the cooking method you plan to use. For example, I used to make homemade chicken nuggets in a butter/dark olive oil combo, but now I just use butter to avoid the oxidized olive oil. When frying or cooking at high temperatures, consider using fats like clarified butter, light olive oil, or beef tallow. There are several oils on this list you could use to roast vegetables, just watch the temperature setting. So for example, I wouldn't want to use extra virgin olive oil for roasting vegetables at 425 degrees because its smoke point is 325 to 375. I'd be oxidizing my healthy oil and making my healthy side dish a little bit less healthy. Again, easy switches here. Just swap your cooking fats. Now you know why I'm not crazy about this diabetes plate method, because it's mostly carbohydrates and doesn't even talk about healthy fats.